allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As well as the time, we have a form to do. Okay. Sandra, change the sequence and look items that compare form to the right name.
I am requesting to move N and O under 10, discussion and action, N and O, the water softener, water heater discussion, up to A and B, so that Brett and Eric can present and get home. They've been here since early this morning.
Okay, so that would be under item 10.
10.
Okay, sounds good. Any other suggestions or requests? And I would entertain a motion to accept the agenda change.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda as with the changes in the agenda.
Second.
It's moved and seconded to approve the agenda with the changes indicated. For this, saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we're on to item 5, announcements.
Principals, I don't know if you wanted to do an update announcements on testing, where we're at with the testing. You have the student report. And I have a couple in my update too, so.
Good. Okay, next, number 6 is celebrations.
So I don't know the exact numbers, but if you may be aware, the PTO ran their carnival. Kind of got some new ideas in there. They brought in 3 bouncy houses, and I was there for the early part of it and saw the pictures, and it was quite a turnout. Yeah, huge. I'm interested to hear how they did, but I thought it was an excellent turnout. It was jam-packed.
Well, and the Pittsville Fire Company was there.
Correct.
It was like they were,
Yeah, they were there. Yeah, so we'll update once we get some feedback from them, but I think they were pretty happy with the turnout. They were a little unsure.
wonderful. Agenda item number 7, public comments for school board policy 97. Jen, have we had anyone registered?
No.
Okay, thank you. Number 2, consent agenda items. A, meeting notice notification. B, regular meeting minutes and closed meeting minutes of March 9th. C, regular minutes and closed meeting minutes of March 19th. D, meeting minutes of special board meeting of April 1, 2026. E, financial status handouts. F, hiring. Victoria has stepped up to be the assistant varsity track coach. Wonderful. Item G, resignations. Christina Zink Local, PCCC teacher. And number 2, Missy Lee, dance coach. H, retirements. First of all, we have Michael Seymour, Director of Instructional Technology. We had previously accepted his resignation and it's going to be changed to retirement. And then number 2 retirement is Brad Allison. Are there any questions about that extensive list?
Make a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
It's been moved to approve consent agenda as presented. Is there a second?
I'll second the motion to approve.
It's been moved and seconded to approve consent agenda items as listed. Everyone in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Well, this is a good time for me to shut up. Number 11, information on the items starting with the district administrator's report.
And board members, you have a copy of this email. So, Jen, you can go ahead and move down to our next slide. So, hot off the presses, Mark let us know we've been posting a regional track meet. I don't know how long it's been. Rick might be able to, a while. It's kind of a big deal because it brings a lot of people into the community. Takes a lot of coordination. So we are hosting a regional track meet on Tuesday, May 26th. So Mark and I and the admin team discussed the logistics of that because it starts earlier. Some of the field events start, track events start a little bit earlier. So schools would typically start arriving about like 2:30. And when thinking about parking, et cetera, actually Alex Madden, one of the high school teachers, came up with the idea, why don't we swap our Wednesday early release to Tuesday and have Wednesday be the full day so that we would then have the campus would be empty by 2:30 when the buses start arriving, and we think that's an excellent decision. And so we're going to be communicating that out to families so that they have a month to plan for that. And there will still be options here for kids. Just if kids need to stay, they'll still be able to stay here. So it shouldn't cause any huge disruptions. We're pretty excited about the opportunity to host a regional track meet, bring folks into Pittsville.
And we have an excellent facility that really doesn't get used that much. It's usually once a year.
Yes.
And so this is a big and also we hope they all bring their cash and buy a lot of concessions.
I think this is the first time we've ever hosted a region.
Really?
Yeah.
You would know.
We hosted conference, but we've never hosted a region.
What a big deal.
Okay, Jen. So I wanted to go over, obviously, if the lease wasn't approved, this would have been an awkward presentation. But I wanted to go over the proposed rural clinic that was discussed earlier in the electorate. So this is a tentative timeline for the Marshfield Clinic is that once there was a lease approval, which obviously happened tonight, I'll communicate back with the clinic folks. And they are gonna immediately have their design people come and start laying out the floor plan, the final components of the floor plan for the building. And they need to submit that to the state for approval, and it'd be somewhat cumbersome. However, they are pretty optimistic that they would receive that approval by June and be able to start renovations by July. And then the roof repairs on the former maintenance building will begin sometime in July as well. And then November, December, possibly October would be the project completion, where they would be ready to open the doors. As far as a formal communication to go out to the community, we're still kind of waiting from the clinic folks to drive that wagon. So they're aware that we're discussing this, but for a formal meeting release. Jeff, you want to go to the next slide? So this is a proposed floor plan for those in attendance that aren't familiar, this is the maintenance building that's right up against the fence right here on the other side of the parking lot. So what the proposal is this would be the rural healthcare clinic run by the Marshall Clinic and Sanford Health. So the exciting part, and Jen, I can't move my mouse up. Are you able to mouse where the pharmacy would be? So I'm hoping this makes it through to the final approval, but they have a full, as you can see, it takes up about, probably 20% of the building, pharmacy. So not only would be 2 exam rooms in the healthcare component, but also the pharmacy, which, as we know, you're taking someone in to get to medical care, and then if you need a prescription, if you don't have the prescription, you still need to make a trip to Marshall or Rapid. So that was pretty exciting that that's included in this draft. And we were discussing, it is with the size of the space, I don't want to make a leap of judgment, but it would indicate that it's more than a vending machine type prescription thing, because I don't think it would have much space. So pretty exciting. We're anxious to be able to get this out, blast this out to the community, because we think this is a wonderful thing for the Pittsville community and for students and staff. And one of the exciting things about this proposal was obviously when they came to us with this 5 months ago now, was the thought of how many times do we as parents, if your child's here at school and gets sick, is you need to leave work and you need to come and grab your kid and you need to run, take off work, is now there would be the potential with the healthcare clinic being located there with the permission, is that we could have one of our school staff walk to the healthcare and then put it on with the parent from work and can do a virtual exam that would potentially not require the parent to leave work and the kid to miss a ton of school if it ended up being something that wasn't contagious. The other piece is, I think, and I'll speak firsthand as a parent, there are times you don't, because of your schedule, you may not go in or take your kids in like immediately because it's like, I can't get off work, I can't. This is going to open up access to the whole community for healthcare, which is obviously a fantastic thing. So pretty exciting. Hopefully soon we'll be able to get this out to the community officially.
Well, since the media is here, the local media is here, I'll be contacting
For that,
Pittsville
that's
Clinic tomorrow to say, well, would you like us to do a scoop? Or would you like us to do the polite thing and wait for you on those?
They are aware that we were talking about this, and they've obviously presented at a previous board meeting, so it's not like this is top secret, it's just, waiting for that formal release, so. Anyway, exciting stuff.
Yeah. And I
Anxious to
think
get
the
this out.
community, it just, the sooner you get this stuff out to the community, the better.
Yeah, and in the event, for those wondering, so we will be leasing this to the clinic, and they'll be paying about $14,500 a year to lease the space from us. So it creates a revenue stream for the district that offsets some of those other needs, like educational needs and stuff. So it's a win-win for the healthcare, and we're creating some revenue while still being able to use other spaces to do what we just done in there, so.
So just to confirm, that because all this was done in a special meeting with collectors,
Mhm.
and an open meeting now, and an open meeting previously, that board members are free to
Yes.
discuss it with.
That is accurate.
members.
It's been discussed publicly, correct. What we're waiting for formal media release, there's certainly the
Yes.
ability to board members to answer questions from community members. I've done
Oh, yeah.
the same, so, yep.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all I have for today.
Any questions for Jason? Okay, well, item B is the student representative update, but I see a couple empty chairs there.
Their parents will have that ready.
Yeah, I can actually. Our students, Emma Bartlett and Peyton.
So here is our April update for you guys. We have our March students of the month from high school. Next slide, please. And then the middle school. Prom's right around the corner, second. And there is our prom court. Chauncey Jones has stepped up as an advisor this year to run prom, so pretty thankful for that. And someone else to kind of coordinate things. Tickets will be sold a week in advance at the high school, so you can buy them at the door. And those are the founding students that are on prom court. ACT and pre-ACT wraps up this week. We have a couple students that just need to do some makeups, as well as forward exam is almost complete. We complete this week at the middle school, so I believe at the elementary as well.
The majority will be done
Majority,
this week, and then any makeups, we have one more week to finish board exams. We'll do any makeups for that week as well.
Staff have been very, very diligent in working around their schedules, and this is a little bit different at the middle school. They're kind of separated out into many days and testing in their classroom setting, which is kind of nice. Like for example, math is tested in their math classroom with their math teacher. Which there's studies that show that that's the best place to test. So wrapping up that, and then forward at the high school is gonna be completed this week as well. Career Day, so we held the Career Day last week, Wednesday, April 8th. And I know this was just on social media this week, as well as I believe to the Pittsville Record. Many different businesses came in, and while our juniors were testing at Crossroads Church, we had about, I think he said 30 to 40 different people come in and do a career event for our 9th, 10th, and 12th graders. The high school said they had 6 different sessions. We had a special schedule, and they attended the 35 to 40-minute sessions with a little snack in between. They showed them what they did at their business. There was a dog groomer there was athletic trainers, healthcare, ER nurse, chef, manager, you guys can read all that stuff, but, and it was students that kind of engage in the question answer, type deal, see what they're interested in. A lot of work went into this with our CT department, a lot of planning. We worked with our CISA as well to kind of coordinate the day. But yeah, bringing it to Pittsville was great, and we actually got to tour some people I've never seen this facility here. So we toured the auto shop, we toured this facility as well, because people were interested. So a lot of Pittsville alumni came in, which was great, but a lot of other places as well that give back to our community. So. There's some pictures from the career day. There was a media, they'll be releasing a video here soon. They came in and did all the videos. They went into different classrooms, interviewed some kids, which was great. So it's great to have them there. So we utilized the whole entire high school. Every teacher was supervising within that classroom. And then that presenter was within that classroom, whether displaying on the boards in there or any different kind of presentation that they had. Sports update, so track, indoor track season is done. They start their first outdoor meet at Marathon, I believe this week.
Friday.
Thank you. Currently the softball team is 2-3. Their last game they lost to Assumption 1-11. Their next game is home against Iowa State. Baseball team is 5-1. The last game was their first loss against Warren Stockton, 4-16. Their next game is Thursday at home against Port Edwards. Earth Day, again, is coming up fast. May 1st is Earth Day. Middle school and high school will be participating. Middle school, just in the morning, they're going to just focus around campus. Hope Florence is coordinating this day. We have people, she's reaching out to community members for cleanup. I thought it went very well last year. Same kind of event. And then in the afternoon, kids will have a choice of different activities. So that's in the process, it's in the works, but wanted to get that out there for just some info for you guys. Forensics, so the next level is state forensics. They will compete this Saturday at UW-Madison. Go to the next slide. There's a list of participants in the area where they're competing in. I'm not going to go through them all, but.
Who is the coach this year?
Yes, Marlis Downs and Cheryl Ashbeck. They are our forensics coaches. So, FBLA, it's actually happening today and tomorrow. I don't have the results as of yet, but those are the students that are competing. And then once we get the results, we'll put that out to social media and Pittsville Record. So, but yeah, exciting stuff for them. FFA, along with 3 other Central Wisconsin FFA chapters, is proud to be the recipient of a generous donation from Pivot Bio. Thank you to Next Gen County LLC, owned by Pittsville alumni Jordan Weiler, thank you, for nominating this chapter. $625 will go to each of the 3 chapters. And we're just grateful that they are giving back to our school and as well as to other communities. So, Brewer game is this Thursday. All 8th graders and our high schoolers will be attending. And they play Blue Jays, coincidentally. So the Stats and AP Cup will be traveling to Milwaukee as well as our 8th grade group. To watch the Brewers take on the Blue Jays. So exciting.
Are you chaperoning?
I am.
It's double dipping.
Yeah.
So can we talk a little bit about why these CS and AP Cal students go and how this is a work? It's more than, I mean, it's fun, but it's also a learning too.
Absolutely. So, it applies to the curriculum piece, the stats of the game, keeping track of it. Tara Grossman does a really nice job with incorporating how to keep track of it, but actually a real life experience. They're the statisticians, and I think that's a career that some kids kind of look beyond of like, what does that even entail? So, it definitely applies to the curriculum, but it's kind of a real life thing where they're in the stands, and some people do this for fun, going to the games, but kids are going to be involved in that. They have a worksheet that's going with them, so pretty excited to see how that all turns out. Last year, I don't think they went. I believe high school, so 8th graders went last year, but this year kind of getting back in the groove of that. So 13 students, I believe, are attending. And we had some new inductees for our National Honor Society. Again, I'm not going to read the names, but to be considered for this induction, students must have at least 3.5 GPA after 3 semesters of high school and exhibit excellence in the following areas of scholarship, leadership, character, and service. So Mr. Denniston is our advisor for NHS. He did a really nice job. There's a beautiful ceremony. So those are our new members as we exit out some seniors graduating this year. And that is it.
Thank you.
The honor roll was recently posted for.
It was.
Yeah, was that social?
Yeah, in a few from this week's paper. So, a high school honor roll.
I will let Mrs. Kunitz know. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions for Ms. Marshall? Okay, let's move on to item C, board goals updates. We actually have 2 items we can talk about related to this. I'm wondering, Jason, could you go first and talk about the web page? We wanted to improve the internal communication, make it easier for people that are considering Pittsville School District to find information.
I'm gonna actually have Leslie touch base just because she was the one at CISA, so kind of share
Oh,
where this came from
wonderful.
at CISA.
Tammy our LMS attended one, I think it's called this. And I believe this is a 10 meeting held previously in the past. And so they just communicated and they said, oh, you're very outdated and we would like to help. So Tammy reached back out to them. I have not heard if any connection yet on what possibly a cost could be, when they could do it, how long it takes. I don't know all those details, but I did put her in the process of starting that communication.
Having been through this in my formative, they'll do an audit, like of the website, they'll give us a feedback, and then they would give us some proposals for revamping the website through using their services, including potentially having someone do the updates and whatnot like that. So we should have some information to bring back once we get information from them.
Sounds good. The second item under board goals was is the establishment of a endowment. Something we've been talking about now for 2 years or so. And we do have a really great opportunity coming up this summer. The Pittsville, I think they call themselves the It's all the old people that graduated, what is it? You're in it now. 1980.
I don't know what it goes up to.
Okay.
I think the last time it did not quite get to my class.
But now it is your class.
I know.
1980.
I'm 1980? Thank you. 76.
Oh, 76, sorry, 76. So anyway, the reading committee actually contacted the Pittsville Record about some things. And we had a brief discussion about kind of rolling out this opportunity during part of the reunion. I mean, a real soft sell, not a good sell, a soft sell. You want a bigger sell.
Well, you don't have any, I was asked to give the tour, which I agree with,
Right,
so probably
right.
I should keep my mouth shut if you want to
Okay,
stop, so.
well, yeah.
I was going to,
Well, we can definitely twist their arm.
Okay.
But when people get to be a certain age, they really reflect back on their life and what helped shape them as people, and sometimes they have assets they'd like to share. So this would be a really good opportunity, as well as something that we could promote again when there is human action. Now, we've talked about this for a number of times. The next time they're gonna do that, it's all school reunion is like 3 or 4 years, and you don't do it very often. So we really need to seize the moment, or it would be advantageous to seize the moment. And I wonder if we have one or two board members who would like to work with me on establishing this with the Marshfield Area Community Foundation. I see several pieces. First of all, we already have an education foundation, which is the scholarship stuff. So we already have an operating agreement and all of that kind of stuff. My guess is that this would be like an addendum, or maybe even another similar, yes. I think we as a board need to come to agreement, and, we talked about it a lot. And it seems like the agreement is that we want to be able to raise money for an endowment to help to continue to fund the school district in the future. That is not engraved in stone anywhere. I'm just saying that appears to be the thing so far. What would need to be done between now and July is executing some agreements with the foundation in Marshfield and developing some real basic materials. This is something that I would see we're not doing in-house. We would ask the foundation for help with this because they've got the chops to do a, very professional looking thing. And I don't think it needs to be real extensive. It's more, this is the project, this is the goal, this is the ask, and, contact your financial advisor and have them contact us. Or you can contact us. But I think in a lot of ways, it's their financial advisor working with us, at least with us. So would the board be interested in moving forward on this?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone that would be interested in stepping up and working with me on this? Or is it something you'd like to think about and then get back to me later? I always hate to put people on the spot in a meeting. You may want to think about it.
Put people on the spot all the time.
Well, I guess I do. Yeah,
No problem with that, you're board president.
well, that's true.
I wanted to add, as part of some of our leadership development, I have a 90-day to-do list that is my rock of creating that alumni database. So I am going to be working on that over the next 90 days, is creating an alumni database, which will be kind of connected to another avenue for this. So that would be something that could be off the plate of the folks.
And, well, yeah, it would be off the plate of board members, but I'll tell you, those folks working on this project have an extensive database. Very extensive. So it's like, in a lot of ways, we don't have to reinvent the wheel. And they're even like kind of deliberating on, okay, we have people's email address, or we have emails, we have, physical addresses, but they're going through the process of confirming with people that they want to share. So, not everybody, because there will be put together, but, not everybody wants everyone to know where they live. And so this group is going through all of that process, so that means, it's not like we're off the hook, but they're doing a big chunk of it.
I would be more than willing to help you. I wonder, I think and maybe we've already asked this question when I wasn't a part of the meeting with the Community Foundation, but just making sure that we set it up the right way, to one, not impact other finances of the district, but then number two, do we need any do we need to actually set up a separate legal entity of the foundation? Or can we just set up a fund at the Community Foundation? So I think we need to ask that question first.
Oh, yeah.
And probably I would probably need to meet with them in the next few weeks.
Yes.
In order to know if we need to do other things, if we really want to have something in place by summer.
Yeah. But, sometimes you can talk about things for a long period of time, and then there's this seminal event, and it's like, okay, let's do it. And I think we're to that point, personally. Thank you, Julie. If any of you guys want to get your toes in the water, let me know. Or even the materials. Okay, any other questions about board goals? Or if you have any as you go along, please feel free to for me. Okay, item D.
All right. Thank you guys for having us. I have a few guests with me tonight. I'm going to start out with the old people information, and then these guys are going to share some information that is a little bit more exciting. So I just wanted to go over, we're nearing the end of the year, and I wanted to go over some of our numbers for the after school program. This is year 3 of our program. If you didn't get a chance, there's a paper over here, but it does talk about each of the years that we're looking at. Our first year in 2023-24, we were open 149 days. We could have had more, but we found out late about the grant. By the time we had our feet under us and ready to open, we had lost about 25 days. But we still were very successful that first year, 149 days. We had 84 students that were enrolled in our program. Our average attendance per day was 31 students. Our regular attendance, that was students that had reached at least 30 days, was 64% of our students who had attended. The number of students that were economically disadvantaged that are part of our program at that year was 48%. And special education and English language learners, we had 19% of our population of after-school program students fell into that category. Year 2, we had a big jump. We went to 169 days. We enrolled 116 students that participated in at least one day of programming. Our average went up to 48 students attending a day, and we were in the 4 or 5 hallway yet. Our attendance, regular attendees were at 63%. Economically disadvantaged, we had a jump in percentage there to 55% of our students that were participating in the program were economically disadvantaged, meaning that they qualified for free or reduced lunch. And then 20% of our students were in the English language learners or special education, just to give you an idea of our outreach there. This year, year 3, so far, we've had 112 days of attendance. We've had a few snow days and other things that have disrupted our things. One other thing that we did this year is we were not counting our Friday before school program attendance in our numbers because it was bringing our daily attendance down when they figured out the average. So we took that out. Still gives us plenty of days. We are still offering the before school program on Fridays. We're just not keeping track of it for the attendance for the grant. We have enrolled 109 students this year that have participated in at least one day. Our daily attendance is at 56 students. I do think there's a good possibility, as long as our numbers don't drop off, that we are going to bump it up to about 57, 58 students a day that participate in our program. Yeah, I have you here to talk about that. Our regular attendance right now, we're at 63% of our students that have met regular attendance. We still have, I believe it's 26 days left of our program. And we have at least, just looking through it right now, 10 to 12 students that have a chance to get to that regular attendance. So I anticipate our percentage could jump up as high as 70% of the students who are participating are regular attendees. Our number for economically disadvantaged students did drop a little bit this year. And our numbers for English language learners in special education has stayed right around that 19 to 20%. We may see a little bit of fluctuation just because there are a few other students that potentially could be moving into that area before the year is out. So we might see a little bit of an increase there. We started our program 3 years ago. We ran with really about one homework activity and then about 2 enriching activities a night. And we were using just the library and the 4 or 5 science room were the only rooms that we used for our program. We handled it with that. Year 2, we had a homework group and we had 3 enrichment activities a night. And then this year, we have 2 separate homework groups, one that's geared more to our 2nd through 4th grade, and then another group for homework, which is 5th through 8th grade. But we're offering 7 enrichment activities a night, 3 for each of the sets of age groups that we're looking at. We're working with, one set is 4K through kindergarten, 1st grade, depending on our numbers for the night. Second group would be 2nd through 4th grade, which we offer 3 activities for, and then 5th through 8th grade, we're offering 3 activities a night for. So there's a lot of different activities we have going on, and to do that, we've also had to increase the number of people who work in our program. This year, we have a majority of our program is filled by high schoolers, who some of which were in our program a couple of years ago. But we have also built off of outside organizations that come in. We have Wood County Extension that comes every Thursday, and they offer really great enrichment opportunities. And they're doing it as a volunteer program to help our program, but also to meet the needs of what they need to do for their programming. We also have Brian Kinney from Team Extreme comes in about 2 Wednesdays a month. We do pay him to come in, but he offers some really great team building programming for our students. They really enjoy those. We have Discovery is for this 4th quarter of the year to offer some. We do pay them as well to come in, but they offer programming to students. Public library is now coming in and they're offering knitting on Wednesdays. And I've been working on it for 2 years. This year they came in and the first night they were like, oh, well, let's see how it goes. The second night they were there, the kids loved it. They had to really encourage them to go into some of the other enrichment activities. I am currently in works to a couple other places to get them to come in and observe what we're doing in our program and see if we can get more partners built in that way. And it's something we're continuing to do as we grow each year. That's just the numbers part of things. I have 3 students that said they could come in, and I thank their families for bringing them in, that would like to talk about their experience with the program. David, you look like you'd like to go first. All right, why don't you stand right here so they can see you. Look at them out there, okay? I'll be here with you.
My name is David. I'm in 4th grade, and I was in the program for 3 years. And
What's your favorite thing you get to do at the after-school program?
I like to go outside.
You like to do the outside activities?
Yeah.
Wonderful. David, is there any other activities that you really enjoy?
Basketball.
The basketball and we basketball?
Yeah.
Wonderful. All right, David, you want to go back by your mom and dad? Okay. All right, Ian, come
My name is Kian, I'm in 4th grade.
And how many years have you been coming to the program?
3.
Yeah, all 3. Okay. All right. You have something you wrote.
Tonight I will be talking about the after-school program that Pittsville has to offer. some activities at the after-school program offers are homework time, 4-H, and Pet Supply Plus. The after-school program has to offer our basketball
And you like basketball, why?
because it builds because basketball helps build skills like teamwork and in inclusion. This is why I like coming to the after-school program.
My name is Kathy Aragos. I'm a fifth grade. I go to the after-school program for 3 years. The after-school program has many fun things to do. There's homework for getting caught up on everything, along with fun activities to do. And the Sport Care program has homework also while reading. Some of my favorite activities are basketball and pen pals.
Pen pals, then I'm curious.
You just write people from across the country and the state.
So this year we started that. I reached out to cold called a few schools to see if we could set up some pen pals, and we're writing to a school in Wyoming, which just so happens their principal is originally from Greenwood. So that was a really neat experience I sent the email out and he emailed back and he said, I know exactly where you are. I'm originally from Greenwood. So we had a nice conversation about that. So his school is one of our partners with Pen Pals. We also have a school in Hawaii, Iowa, and Florida right now. And we're going to next year see if we can get a few more schools in and see if we can keep the Pen Pals going.
That's a great addition.
Any questions? I thought Mary Ann would have one.
Okay, this is a great program, and I think it's really added a lot to our school district. It's good for the kids, because it focuses on academics as well as, enriching activities and keeps kids safe. However, this is the third year of a 5-year grant. What does the future hold? Will there be money next year?
That is a great question. Last year, right around this time, we had received a notice that funding for after-school programming was likely on the chopping block. And so we had lots of discussions of what that could look like. We talked about if families could, taking donations. Mr. Knott and I had talked quite extensively that we would most definitely be offering programming, but it is very difficult because we do have high schoolers that come into work. We have community members who come in and get paid to work. We also have some organizations that we hire to come in. Those things do cost money. It costs money to keep the lights on, to keep bodies there, to keep, snacks for those students and materials. Luckily, this last year, we found out in November that all funds were released and we were able to fully fund the program. We just received on our last ICE day, email stating that the same situation is up again this year. It is in the skinny budget that was just put out to Congress that they would like to see cuts to after-school programming funding again. And I sent that information out to our parents, and quite a few of our parents have stepped up and have contacted Congress just to say these are important programs. These programs are important to their families so that they can work and they're safe spots for their kids to be. It's also important for students because we do offer quite a few different enrichment opportunities for them to learn and grow and experience things that maybe they won't have that same opportunity to experience. It's also important to our high schoolers that for them, it's a first job. They're learning great employability skills and learning how to work with others. So there's a lot of really great things that go into this program, but funding is also knowing that we're going into the summer again this year, very uncertain as how things will look. Again, next year, we'll be looking at plans again of how we fund this, and one of those plans is looking for partners. So looking for community members, partnering with the public library. There's a few other programs at the public library I would like to see us bring over. But it's hard because there are people that have other opportunity or other obligations as well. So to look at that, to also look at other organizations that could offer some programming, I think is where we're also reaching out to.
I think as a note of having the new community partners such as Sanford Health and Marshall Clinic on our campus would open up some opportunities potentially for some partnerships related to that.
And we did talk to students last week, Thursday, just to find out some other things that they were very interested in. And I've talked to a few of our coaches for our athletic programs to see if there's any way we could partner to have maybe some of the athletes come in and lead some of those activities. And right now, because right now we have a community member who comes in and does some basketball skills development, but students had expressed that they would like to see us expand that into soccer, baseball, track and field, basketball, maybe some football skills. So there's a lot of different things, even in-house, that we can look at for this next year and see if we can partner with some of those programs to build in to our program. And even if we can offer one night a week for a month, it helps to provide more programming.
I will say that the parent and community feedback that legislators got earlier this year made a difference in that funding coming through. So folks reaching out, that turned that, so that works. If I may, I don't want to put parents on the spot, but I would love to hear from any parents that want to share your parent perspective of the after-school program, which is kind of from that perspective.
We are just new residents of Pittsville. We open and enrolled for 3 years. We chose to grow our kids here as a Pittsville alumni and knowing what the district had to offer and where we were moving. We thought this was a much better choice. And working rural and traveling for work, it's a wonderful place to have your kids go. That safe grad school program that allows us to get to work and stay an extra hour or two and offer them some activities that they may have in Marshall or Athens that they wouldn't have in Pittsville if it weren't for the after school activities. So it's great to see the involvement of the community and that our kids get that opportunity to grow and be involved and see leadership opportunities as they get older too. We're very appreciative.
Thank you for open enrolling.
We're now residents.
anymore.
Oh, yeah,
We just moved,
now.
finally. Well, welcome. Welcome. That sounds great.
We are also open enrolled into Pittsville. We've been with the after school program for 3 years. Me and my wife, we've got 5 children, and we both work full-time jobs, so it's tough sometimes to get. I myself, I work in Stevens Point, try to get here on time sometimes. It's hard. My wife is a full-time nurse, so she's her day here, who knows? But being able to know the kids are safe and have the opportunities to grow and learn a little bit different things. Academically, I've seen a huge improvement in both my kids that are in it now. It's great to see.
Thank you, Jude.
Yeah, I'm originally from Rapids, and I enrolled her here in Pittsville in kindergarten, preschool, and we did the open enrollment. And then she went to the Pittsville Child Care Center at first, and then once the after school and before schools became available, then we went through that. And I pretty much moved here because they offered it.
Wonderful. We're happy you're here. While, as things unfold,
Yes.
please feel free to share what some of your strategies may be, and let us know how you can be supportive.
Wonderful. And I would like to issue an invite too, if you would like to come and see the after-school program. We are open Monday through Thursday from school dismissal until 5:30. The best time to come would probably be around that 3:30 to 5 o'clock time if you want to see the different enrichment activities that we offer.
But you can come in and help some kids with some
Or you can come in.
Gotcha.
I have a group that would love if we had somebody come in and cribbage every once in a while. Kids love those type of things. Last year we did cribbage, and we had kindergartners that actually were picking up on cribbage. They enjoyed it. So yeah, it's hard to offer everything if we need the bodies to do it. So an invite to who's interested.
Thank you.
I know my dad likes this.
Do you like this?
Okay, on to agenda items, 10.
You folks are welcome to stay, believe me, but you will not offend us if you.
Yeah.
It's almost bedtime.
Yes. I think it's got a lot. He puts in a lot of hours, that guy does.
Or if you want to get the car in the garage.
Yeah.
You know, it doesn't have windows anymore.
Thank you again.
Very good. Okay, we're going to move on to agenda item number 10, which is discussion action item. This is where we do Ann and Bo to start. So we'll start out with item 10, which is the followed up with
We have a water problem in this building. A lot of it stems from water softener that was installed originally in this building, I don't know how many years ago.
You mean above the locker room?
No, this is the softener right in our
In
central
this, in
storage.
this new building?
No,
It's in central storage right down the hall to the left, by the band room.
it
Oh,
was
okay,
installed.
okay, so the 2000 edition.
So it is the root of a lot of problems, we believe. We're not getting life out of water heaters, fixtures, dishwashers and kitchens and, so I got prices on replacing that. Or price on that. We also have several other units, 3 other units in the different buildings, which I priced, not immediate needs. This one is. So it was my recommendation, I got a price for $14,561.34 to replace that, update that system that has never worked since installed. I had 3 different prices on it, plus on the next item, I had several plumbers come look at other things. I would say, hey, what do you think of this? And they all gave the same look as to why it was installed or that system. So the hope is replacing this, it will save on a lot of other items down the road. The next is the water heaters.
Brett, can I jump in just on the water softeners real quick? So while I was in that interim role, we had the system evaluated, the water softeners, and what they effectively said is we had a residential water softening system installed in a commercial building. Was the evaluation that was given, is that it's a series of 4 softeners daisy chained together, but they're not meant to put out the water flow that we to serve these buildings. And effectively, to Brett's point, finding some of these other issues with the boilers and the water heaters, it's the fruit from the poisonous tree. It is that the water softeners, everything downstream is failing related to that. So at that point, we identified that as something that if we had the funds available as we get into the end of the year, that we wanted to tackle, that went kind of to the top of that priority list. So I just wanted to jump in with that.
What does 90K, 300K, what does that refer to?
I don't even know all that stuff, but basically it's flow rates, for what is needed, like you said, downstream from everything that it's going to. What we've got there isn't putting out enough water. It's not softening the water. We're getting buildup in everything. We have water heaters that are only lasting a couple of years, but it should be lasting 8 to 10. So basically it's, so I don't know if, I try to explain it, if any of you have softeners in your house with a tank that you put salt in. This system in here has 4 tanks that you put salt in. The end of the line where the water comes into these on the 4th tank, I don't believe there's ever put salt in it since it's been installed.
A 4-inch manifold going down to
1 inch
a 1
pipes.
inch. And with all the people that came in to look at this, the first one, we didn't really know a lot about water softeners. So first guy listened to, second guy came in, he didn't say anything, let them look at it. Well, they all pointed out the same thing, so that's our problem.
So how will we fund it? How will we fund it?
We have a surplus right now.
So we're not taking
I
it out of
ran a
capital?
projection, so as of right now, based on the money still coming in for Fund 10, we would be able to swing 1 softener and 1.
The set of
Yes, by
softeners.
June 30th, and then we would need to budget for the rest in 26, 27.
There's 1 unit in central storage, and then there's 1 in the high school, and then there's 1 in the elementary by the cafeteria. And then
Water heaters now.
Water softeners,
Yeah.
which are working.
Water
now.
softeners in those?
There's 3 other locations. This is the,
This is the one that's
This
the
should
big
be
one.
priority, it's feeding a good
So this-
majority of the.
This new one, peak service, 75 gallons per minute. I believe they said what we're getting now is something like 40 out of what is there. So it's not, so we're getting buildup, it's not full.
into Julie's
So
question.
a surplus on top of what we expected to go back in fund balance?
Correct.
Yeah.
Brett, I just want to make sure I'm reading this, it says total project cost at $14,561. The next sentence states, this includes all plumbing work and installation. I'm making sure that by the words plumbing work, that includes like all the hardware and equipment.
Yes,
Yes,
that's all we
all
would,
inclusive.
we can let you look at it.
What does he mean when he says later on, we'll send a formal letter later?
This must have been from
The color
before
one.
he has sent it, an acceptance
Like
letter
formal
that,
proposal.
that we would sign,
So the
basically. This
the
is
formal
just,
letter's the same cost as this?
yes, yeah.
He
This
gave
was
us
just
his
a quote.
quote prior, and then he sent us a formal letter when he said we we're gonna bring this forward, locking that price in for us because the price could have changed.
I had,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
And one last question, we're able to actually use funding we received this year, not referendum dollars for this, correct?
Well,
we didn't put in the
do have-
referendum.
Correct. It would be considered a capital cost, so it is from our surplus.
Like it's from the same height,
So-
we have a surplus from,
For example, money that wasn't budgeted for revenue was we got our curriculum reimbursement from our reading literature or literacy stuff, so we got a big chunk of that. And we're still waiting
we're still
for
waiting on 17,000 more for that. That we're gonna
17,000 coming.
get. So, yeah.
So that money right there, both monies that we did not.
We did not budget
So
those
we will
revenues
not
because
be
we
using
couldn't sure.
referendum dollars, because they're capital improvements.
And then we'll budget for the other 3 water heaters, or water softeners after July 1st. They'll be built into next year's
Yes.
budget. So that we get them all replaced. But these are the ones that are the priority right now because they such a large portion, and that's where the flow rate is so lacking, which we are pretty certain caused some of these with those boilers. And now we have the new boilers installed so that we want to make sure we're not doing anything that could void the warranties on the new boilers.
Rick, that's the.
But this will not run 46 and it will all be done under a balanced budget for this this current fiscal year.
Right, we'll still maintain our
So
projection.
his formal letter has the same cost that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's just the one they signed.
Now, this, in this email here, he kind of starts off by, letting us know that, hey, let us know what you think about this quote. And we could adjust some numbers here and there. Is it your understanding if we adjust the numbers or negotiate a different price, we're getting things taken away?
So he had things in there like us removing, closing of the tanks, things like that, originally. And then I told him, yeah, we're gonna do that anyways. So then he just gave us that, the price of that.
So we saved $1,000 with you guys taking care of that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
That's what we like to hear.
Yeah, I'm glad you got these, 3 different quotes.
And salt as well will be a cheaper cost.
That Rosie's one, that shows a high quote. Yeah, it's funny how it can fluctuate.
The system's 3 times bigger though.
Yeah, I see it was bigger, I just don't understand how that all works.
How many pounds of salt does this system have?
I don't remember offhand. He probably told me. He really likes, I walked around with him for quite a while. He really likes water systems. He threw a lot of info at me, looking at the different units. So the other, we got a price on the one that's up in the elementary. It would be the exact same system as this. That's still functioning for, to look for future and budget for.
There's not quite the flow demand
Yeah.
on those other ones. There is in this system, which is why there were 4 units.
And it looks like there's a warranty. I'm gonna find that. It looks like a couple year warranty or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was very interested. He seemed like he really wanted to get the foot in the door because they do service and everything too.
Sure.
So, knowing
We're
that,
not too far away.
yeah, he was out of the home.
Where?
I'll make a motion to approve the Countryside Pelican Water, replace the existing water softener in the admin building for $14,561.34.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the proposal from Pelican Rose.
No. No.
Okay,
Country.
Country.
Culligan.
From Countryside Pelican Water.
Countryside Pelican Water. Okay. So, is there any further discussion regarding this? Okay, then all in favor of the motion to approve the Countryside Pelican Water proposal, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Wonderful. Thank you for your due diligence.
Good.
Now let's talk about the water heater.
More fun. Well, we have a water problem in this building, and it is affecting our water heaters also. Right now, we have no hot water in our varsity gym locker rooms or the laundry room. Showers, the showers in the coach's office is inside. It's been months, right? Since before I was here. There's 2 units up above the locker rooms. Both are dead. So there's no hot water right now in those. The other thing is in the mechanical room by the kitchen in the elementary school, there are 2 units, 2 water heaters. One is functioning. There's another one, brand new, missing parts are in a box. So right now, that kitchen and that end of the basically the whole entire school is running off of 1 water heater, where there should be at least 2 if that one dies, we have no kitchen or lunch or breakfast. So, I have a price on that for $2,200 to install that one, put the parts in it. So there are 2 functioning. And the price for the big ones up above the locker rooms, I
I have a price of $13,070 per unit. And there's 2 up there. So I would recommend doing those 2 units, plus installing the other one, yeah.
That quote then, it's 13,070, but it would actually be 26,140?
To install both of them.
Okay. that makes sense.
Plus the 2,200, which I think we should have that second unit down, by the kitchen. So,
Now, the one that we have sitting down there, Aaron's Plumbing gave a price on that for $11.50.
yes, but that didn't include actually hooking it up. That was basically looking at it to see, because he didn't know how long he would do it hourly for the actual labor. So I thought I would recommend Bill Bittner, who's been doing a bunch of work here. He gave a price on it. That would be a set price. He looked at it. He said the parts are all there, so.
Okay, but he's got a 13,070 on that. If we have the water heater, it can't be, that can't.
No, that's for one of the ones on.
That
that's the
would be
upstairs
if
one.
he put a price on it, because that's the same heater, same unit as the ones up there. But then he had down below, he said he had 2,200 to install what we have, just.
Effectively get that back to be a brand new water heater,
Yes.
because the parts have better run off of it.
So we wouldn't have to have an elementary school water heater at 13,000?
No,
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 that'll be up and running at 2,200.
I've been told that thing has been sitting there for years, never installed, and they kept taking parts out.
It still had the plastic on it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
on
it was
the-
being cannibalized.
Yeah, and then they buy parts and leave it sitting next to it, so.
And to be clear, and I want to Pam to jump, what our plan is, because Pam's been able to project, would be, we're asking for approval, which it may be in this case is doing it after July 1st with the two water heater purchase. I want to make sure we're all on the same page on that.
Right, so I didn't realize it was 15, I thought this was like 12.
Yeah.
So my projection was showing $28,000 that we
Total.
would have. I would have to go back or wait another month maybe and
Yes.
decide, because right now it was 28,000 was a cushion to still use Fund 10
Yep.
this year.
And we potentially, we're waiting for exact word when that additional 17,000 is going to come in that wasn't budgeted.
Right.
Which could mean there's
Right,
more,
so
but we
if
don't want to make a
get that, we would
decision.
have enough, but I don't
We don't
want to
wanna
spend
make
money we
decisions
don't
today.
I
have.
got about 52,000.
Pardon me?
All this under Pioneer Plumbing, it'd be about 52,000.
Well, I was just going off of the recommendation to replace just the one unit by June 30th, and then the other
After July
28,000
1st.
would have to wait until after July 1st. We would have to budget that into the next budget cycle.
Replace one water heater?
Just the one where he's
One of the
not
two
here.
upstairs, because that would give us working hot water, because they're set up in series as a fail-safe. So we would replace the one upstairs. We would budget to do the other one after July 1st. And we would likely have 100 to do the kitchen one with this money that would come through the $17,000.
Right.
We would be short of getting both of them done within the surplus. So that other one would have to wait until after July 1st, but then we would effectively have, everything would be set up and operational by early in July
One of the
without
locker
going
room,
over budget.
you want one of the locker room ones done.
Yeah, because we gotta get hot water back in there for the locker room, yeah.
Okay, but it's a 100-gallon heater, right? How functional is that going to be
Well, the system is designed
for 200?
this system down in the kitchen, how it was set up, and what I was told during that, when we had people come in over Christmas break, was the second water heater was designed to be on so that if something went wrong with the first hot water heater, you didn't have to shut your kitchen down and not serve food and stuff. It was like a redundant system.
They work in sequence. But right now, I mean, it's not like the kids there isn't a full FIAD class and they're taking showers, nobody uses it. It's pretty seldom that they all get used, it's mostly the laundry is in there, it's washing with cold water right now. And then occasional shower here and there, so it's not an entire basketball team, football team in there taking.
And if we were to see additional surplus coming, like right now, if we got the 17,000 with Pam's projection, we'd be about $6,000 short of getting everything done in this current fiscal year. So if there were additional revenues that came in, if we had some additional funding that came in and Pam, like a month from now, we're gonna have a better idea than we do right now.
Right.
There's the potential we could still get it done, but we just don't wanna commit to that where we would go over budget, so that's why we would wait
You know, it,
on that one.
yeah, it seems like a prudent idea to, budget this over 2 fiscal years.
Yes, definitely, with that way, if, the theory is if they're all gonna fail, you don't want them all failing in the same year, then you have to find money for that as well. But we are looking, like if you remember, I budgeted $0 for Medicaid coming through to Fund 10. We'll probably still get something, probably not a lot, but we could still get money there as well. So we've got the
Yeah.
25,000 from the literacy piece that we weren't really expecting, a possible 17,000 from letters training reimbursement yet this year. So it's
And
a,
if they
it's a
fund, if
waiting
they
game.
change the funding on the special education dollars, if that gets changed, you
Well,
budgeted conservatively
right,
on that,
right.
so
But,
there's
I mean,
possibilities.
if we get them approved now, if we have the money to buy them,
Yeah.
that way we don't have to wait for another board meeting just because of lead time.
So what we are telling the board is we will not make the purchases unless we have the surplus available from the additional revenues that come in.
Right.
Any funds we didn't have would be budgeted in the new budget for after July 1st for replacement.
Yes.
We're just looking for approval that if all of a sudden the revenue comes in, we can pull the trigger before the prices go up and get it done.
If we approve the money, can they at least do the one in the elementary school? Because that sounds like by far the biggest need.
For sure,
Yeah,
yes.
So we won't have to wait, if we approve it tonight, we won't have to wait then. This doesn't have to be all at the same time, right?
Doesn't have to be, no. If that other one dies down by the elementary school,
Well, the 2200 would need approval.
you're gonna have to do it anyway.
Pardon me?
The 2200 would need board.
No, that would
approval.
not need board approval.
So
That would
will
be
happen, yes.
just part of our regular maintenance costs, yes.
okay.
And you're recommending Pioneer Plumbing for all this?
Yes.
So you need an approval to approve Pioneer Plumbing for the initial 15,270 for the above the locker rooms and the install unit for the kitchen, elementary kitchen, as well as the flexibility to do the other unit if we
If funds are available.
if funds are available in this.
That's accurate, yes.
That's the motion I make.
Did we make a motion for the soft middle first?
I did already.
It was already
sorry.
available.
You get all that, Jen?
How's yours raining furious?
Yeah.
It's on video.
It's on video, yeah. I think I heard a second from Nate. Any other discussion? I really appreciate
Thank you.
Yes, thanks.
that you guys do, I think as Panthers and as taxpayers, I think, and a lot
Thank
of. Yeah,
Really appreciate your work, both of you guys.
Thank you, guys.
yeah.
It's awesome.
So, okay, it's been moved and seconded to buy those things. Buy those heaters. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Well.
This should be- Yeah. They're gonna do a good job of going through
Yeah,
stuff and making sure that we're not in some whole 5 years from now.
and I do have a lot of confidence in them, in terms of doing due diligence. I have to, scratch my head sometimes.
And I will tell the board, we're very pleased that they've reached out to local folks to are
Yes.
prioritizing like purchasing materials and
There's times
local
on weekends I
businesses.
think Eric's living here. He is here constantly.
We gotta have that.
Yeah, we're working on a balance, work-life balance.
Okay. Well,
Therapy, job therapy coach, yeah.
Harmony seems to work all the time. Okay, so we're gonna go to A, which is CISA 5 contract renewal.
So we had to wait a little bit to get back because we removed the one change from last year. This year's we removed the LMS services. We had paid $5,000 for CSAT support, and Tanya come, Leslie talked, and was determined with Tanya going into a program for librarian specialists and with other supports you'll have available. We did not need that $5,000, so that was removed from the contract.
Wonderful. So that's another $5,000 we can use on a water heater. Right? Okay.
Other than that, pretty consistent for.
Okay. I would, entertain a motion to approve the CISA 5 contract renewal.
Also move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the CISA 5 contract as presented. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, CLA, Year 3 Service Contract. These are friends of Clifton, Larson, and Allen.
So we've used Clifton, Larson, Allen, or an entity thereof, basically since I started in 2015. Just so you know, they do rotate their own staff, so there is no like familiarity, you know, for more than a few years at a time. Their 25-26 rate that they've provided, they already know we don't need a membership audit, that's why they've been budgeted that piece of it. The initial year's increase is 5% over 24-25, and then it's 26-27 is 2.87% increase over the prior year, and then 27-28 is a 3% increase. And I, through my Wasco regional group, we put out a survey because everyone was sort of looking at their auditing costs, and our cost is about midline, it's about average for everybody. Jason and I discussed requesting bids from other places to see, you know, if we were in line, if anyone could do anything better. So I reached out to Baker Tilly, to Wickley, and to Hawkins Ash. Baker Tilly baseline was $28,000, so that would have been significantly more than what we were already paying. He said what we're paying right now is great pricing. He thinks CLA was a great provider. The Wickley, I worked with a person there. We ran through a questionnaire, and then they declined to bid us. I got no response from Hawkins Ash, and I did not reach out to Kerber Rose because there's a conflict of interest. One of the shareholders is someone I used to work with, so we can't really use them. So I recommend just staying with CLA where they're at. I have 0 complaints on their work. Does anyone have any questions?
Do we have to, is it typical to approve 3 years?
Yes.
You get
They've
that.
always done a 3-year budget cycle, or a 3-year quote cycle since I've started, yes.
Okay.
I would assume they're like legal though. I mean, if we ever had an issue, if this is not like binding, we could leave if we wanted to. It's just like your legal services.
If there are no other questions, I would entertain a motion to approve the 3-year contract with CLA for auditing services.
A motion to approve the 3-year contract with Clifton Larson Allen LLP for auditing services.
Is there a second? Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the 3-year contract with CLA for auditing. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, next we have early graduation requests. We have 2 students this year.
Should have received the 3rd one, an RVA student.
That was on
That was a,
Yeah,
here.
that's only one.
There's 2.
There's only 2 on here.
Okay. SH is the RBA student.
SH is the RVA student, and then should have received 2 other ones from Marissa.
Oh.
A total of 3. You have. You're
The
missing
SH is
one.
there.
Yeah.
That's the RBA.
CK, and then I have BS.
Will be
We
us.
don't have that.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us about BS?
Can I say their names?
You can just maybe.
You can
say
just
there
explain the,
What the circumstances
Okay, so,
are.
Forms are signed.
the forms are signed, I have the letter right here. Just
Do you
wants to
have
go out to, and enter the workforce, I can make a copy for you.
Do you have it electronically that you can just email it to us?
Oh, that's the first one.
We can still approve that if it's not on the agenda.
yes, because that's the topic is there.
Well, you could just pass it around to us here if you don't have it otherwise, so we can quickly review it.
I can,
I don't think I
I
have.
can just
it.
email it to you guys if that's okay.
Okay.
Sure.
It's nice to know what these kids have up there.
Sorry about that. Okay, should just receive and try to copy. Let me know if you can't open it. I'm not the owner of it, so.
Okay, so you just sent it to their school email,
If they're not able to open it, perhaps you could
just read
read the rationale letter.
Yeah, just pass it on, that's okay. We can talk about the other two while you're looking at that one, but, for students CK, that's a student, the one that's inter-district. He will have completed his 28 credits by the first semester, which is our graduation requirements. He wants to enter a career and pursue construction and landscaping with the hope of, doing some entrepreneurship in his future. With graduating early, it will allow him to train and get hands-on experience in the field sooner. This student as well also does work experience already, so half of his day is already working, so he's very driven. So we'll need to approve his letter with parent's signature and parent.
How old is BS?
They're both, they have signatures.
Okay, you gotta have a parent sign it.
It is already signed, I didn't sign, I didn't
I
give you that copy.
So it has all the necessary signatures, Taylor.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. Do we ever do any, excuse me, follow up on these kids that do that early graduation?
We had, I believe, two requested this past year, but they didn't follow through with it. Or one requested this past year and he did not follow through with it, so we stayed
Okay,
through.
so this is just approving the request?
Approving the request, yep.
Okay, sounds good. Sounds good. I would entertain a motion to approve the early graduation request for CK, SH, and BS for the 25-26. Is this 25-26 or is this 26-27?
Say that again.
It's for the 26,
It's
27.
for the 26-27 school year.
Okay, for the
They still have to
26.
complete their first semester of their senior year because we have some graduation requirements like civics and econ and that stuff that need to be complete for them to graduate.
So I would indicate, and I see Jen writing furiously.
I have a question. What would be a reason we wouldn't approve? Like, is there any criteria that, I'm not saying we shouldn't, I'm just wondering, like, is there any, like, would
You
there,
want the candid answer?
yeah, I mean, would there be
Is
any
there much
Maybe
we
not
can add?
ready.
It would be that we were worried about it becoming a pandemic where all these kids would want to get out right when they got to 28 credits and then it would impact elective enrollment in our classes. So my personal opinion as a former high school principal is the only reason, like if you have the parents and the student are like, some kids just get to that point where like that young man, it's time. So on the side of like, for the best interest of the kid, I like to defer to say, if the family has made this decision and they've met our requirements, my answer would be no. To
there wouldn't
refuse
be a
it.
reason not to?
There wouldn't be, other than to say, listen, we got 5 kids every year requesting this. maybe we need to look at our credits, like how we're allocating, like it systemically. But in my opinion, no, I don't know, Taylor, I mean,
And is
no.
there a timeline they have to request it by in order to be able to be granted?
By the,
This
this
April board.
April
Yeah.
meeting
Okay,
for next year.
okay. So no other student can submit a request now that we're past this deadline? Okay,
And they can change their mind,
sure.
you know, so
They can
they
choose
just
not
have to do it right now,
They can
so,
choose to
yeah.
not act, not act on it.
That's
but
correct.
No one else can request any longer. Okay. Thank you.
I would entertain a motion to approve. Did someone already make a motion for that? No, okay. So make a motion to approve early graduation for CK, SH, and BS for the 26-27 school year.
I will so move.
I will second it. Any other questions? Favor, motion, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, D, election canvas. Well, ooh, it's upside down. I was there for it, so I didn't really look at this. Okay.
Just gotta turn it.
So,
Oh, there we go.
and you do have a signed copy, right?
Yes.
Okay, great.
I have a parent email as well, that says I send
Okay.
Yeah.
students.
Okay. Usually the clerk has been reporting on the board canvas. I've never done this before, so I guess I would ask people to look at the numbers on page 2. And also the numbers on page the rest. It was obviously a hard-fought campaign.
Yeah, another one.
Yeah. Another one does.
Congratulations.
If there are no questions on the canvas report, I believe the next thing is for the office.
Rick asked if they could do that simultaneously.
Oh, sure they can. I think that would be wonderful. Now, that I think is the clerk's. Well, and so you're the boss of
Please
that.
stand.
So,
You need to stand.
okay, guys.
I, Rick Glenn, hasn't been elected or appointed to the
School board is the school district of Pittsville, but have not yet entered upon the duties of
swear that I will
that I will support the Constitution of the state, the Constitution of the state of Wisconsin, and strive faithfully to discharge the duties of said office to the best of my ability. So help me God.
Thanks, guys. Our next item is to appoint a school board representative to C5. And we have a notice of convention coming up. I think it's May 14th. Well, Rick, you have done just such a commendable job at this.
So you be careful of being really good at something.
You mean going to Portage in May? I looked it up, it works on my schedule.
Yeah. I don't see a reason to switch.
I'll appoint Rick as the school board representative for season 5.
I'll second that motion. Any other comments? All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, next, item B, dental and vision insurance. It looks like 2% increase is rather modest.
So dental insurance is going up 2% for 26-27. Last year, if it went down slightly, and then if it stayed consistent prior to that for a couple of years. So monthly premium for a single will be $57.41. Monthly premium for a family is $178.83. If we keep the share percentage is, the same, which is my recommendation, the dollar amount on the employee's check will be $5.17 in 26-27, so it's a 10-cent increase. And the family will be 1609, so it's approximately a 30-cent increase per check. So the additional cost for the school district, if we stay at 8515, will be $2,213.60. Now I did look at, if we split the additional cost between the district and employee 50-50, the rates are so very close it doesn't really pay. I guess it's just minuscule change.
Okay.
So my recommendation is to keep it still at 85-15.
Okay. Seems reasonable. Questions? If not, I would entertain a motion to approve this.
And vision went down, right?
I haven't got
Vision
yet.
Oh,
I haven't got
Are we,
vision
but
yet.
isn't it all Delta Dental, so don't we approve it all together?
Yes, I mean, I can, yeah, I guess I thought they were two separate.
Oh, they are,
items,
they
but-
are, never mind,
Okay.
sorry.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I can present them both and you can, however you wish to do it. Did you want to open up the vision, Jen? So we're locked in for our vision, our policy is locked in through June 30th, 27, so there is no dollar change, at all. So Laurie. This was just showing if, we split the cost, but, I'm not recommending that. This is what it stays, and, the 26-27 will be exactly the same. So I'm suggesting that it just stays the same. The employee's portion is 46 cents per check for a single and $1.14 for a family. This one here, I was just showing similar to what I did for dental, just sharing splitting the cost at the same rate is what dental was at. We're keeping the dental rate at a different amount. I just recommend keeping it still at the $15.85.
I'll make a motion to approve Delta Dental of Wisconsin as the dental insurance provider for 26-27 school year with a 2% increase over the 25-26 rates. With the premium share to remain at 85% district, 15% employee.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve Delta Dental as the dental insurance provider for the current school year with a 2% increase over this current year's rate. And the premium share to remain at 85.15. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. I need another motion related to the vision insurance premium.
I'll make a motion to approve the vision insurance premium share to remain at 85% district and 15% employee.
I'll second.
Thank you. It's been moved and seconded to approve the vision insurance premium share to remain at the current amount. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, well, that was easy. Now we get to the fun part.
So try to lay it out very distinct. They're very easy, I'm hoping, because there's a lot of numbers here because there was a lot of options given to us by Security Health Plan. So there were no other bidders. Had a not to exceed amount last year of 12% for 26-27. Nobody else, they didn't even go out to bid. As I'm sure you've heard in the news, up to 300% increase for some insurance carriers. So the fact that it stayed at 12% is a huge bonus to the school district. So it's very thankful that
That
we
was
did that
last
last year. Pardon me?
But that was last year.
Well, no, not right. We don't have a not to exceed going forward because we're on year 2 of a policy year, so we hopefully won't be too bad shape next year, but we don't really know. So the plans that so the options they gave us, the plan that we currently have right now, has a deductible of $1,650 for a single and $3,300 for a family. That's no longer allowable if you want an HSA plan for 26-27. So I did address that in some of our scenarios because our premium, we are the lowest deductible. So none of our premiums actually went up by 12% because we had to increase our deductible a little bit to still be HSA qualified.
Okay. What is the threshold for HSA quality?
$1,700 and $3,400 single family for deductible.
Per month?
Correct.
No, per year.
No, the deductible for the year.
For the year.
For the
Okay.
year. So it's a
Okay.
very
Thank
small amount. I mean, it's a fabulous deductible. So I don't know how much detail. I know that I gave you all the detail, but I don't know how, I mean, I could spend an hour and a half on this and I don't want to waste your time, especially with the storm coming through. So do you want me just to jump to the summary and we can talk about the summary numbers?
Can you ground us in what, when we put together referendum and we put together our projection of what things would cost, what were we thinking we would be facing?
12%.
Well, I only budgeted 10% during the referendum.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
10%.
Okay.
Because when we started referendum projections, we did not have we didn't know what our health insurance was going to be yet because that actually came up very late last year.
Correct.
Okay. Foundational questions. First of all, this is still working with the consortium.
Yes, we're still in the co-op,
Okay.
correct.
It's the co-op.
Yep.
Okay. And Security Health Plan is the only health plan that bid for the co-op. Is that correct?
They did not even go out to bid
Because we're
for this year
already capped
because everybody's rates were
Yeah.
so much higher. They did not even go out to bid because we had a not to exceed amount
Okay.
locked in.
The next year will be a different story.
Right, so next year we'll definitely be going out to bid again.
Okay, that's helpful. I remember last year when we talked about this, there was a lot of discussion about the 2 narrow networks.
Yes.
How has that worked? How are people, some are in the Marshfield Clinic narrow network, some are in the Aspirus
We got
narrow
that.
network? Okay. And that is number what?
Oh, just a second.
Scenario 1, okay.
Well, this is scenario 1. Oh, I don't know if I can flip it though, Jen. Can you flip page 3 for me, please? So I'm not gonna go through all the dollar amounts, but under simply 1, which is Security Health Plan, Marshfield Clinics, and just a couple affiliates. We had 18 of our employees take the family coverage and 7 take the single.
Okay.
Then under the Premier, which is Marshfield Clinic, Aspirus, Mayo,
Kind of open
United
network.
Health,
Yeah.
yes, excuse me, no, UW Health. So a lot more options. We had 26 take the family and singles 13. So if you remember, anybody that from the year before was on the Aspirus Health Plan and everybody switched to Aspirus, that's why these numbers are bigger under Premiers because these are the people that have already moved to Aspirus.
And they were happy campers.
And they're happy campers. They've reestablished their positions and they wanted to stay with them.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, Jen, could you go to the document, the security health plan usage, that? So,
Hacking away at us.
pardon me?
They're hacking away at us.
Yeah, I know, it's just
Like,
like,
I just got
Sorry.
healthy people, I just got healthy. Seriously.
have a BPI unit running.
I'm healthy.
Okay.
So, just some background in our meeting that we had with our M3 co-op leaders. They had all 13 school districts, data presented. This is just Pittsville. So they had like everybody together, then they had each school's got its own. So based on this chart at the bottom down here. So 6 months of data from July 1st, the start of our plan year, through December 31st, 2025. That's when all the claims had been processed. So we're meeting in April, but all the claims were cleaned up or whatever. So that was a clean cut period that they had. So you can see that 67 of our members, now a member would be an employee and all their dependents.
Yeah.
Subscriber is just the employee. So 67 members never made a claim in the first 6 months.
Okay.
And then we had 150, so down to here, 150 members never made a claim. Excuse me, made claims of $2,000 or less. So 78% of our people.
Okay.
So about 35% never made a claim for the first 6 months, and 78% 2,000 or less. So that's kind of why they jumped 2,000, 4,000 option for us, was partially because of that.
Okay.
And then I asked, well, of all of our families, all of our employees, who's met the deductible? Not specifically who, but
Yeah.
you know, what's it look like? So of our single policy holders, and I did not ask them to differentiate between the Simply One or the Premier, but 8 out of 20 or 40% have met their deductible through April 2nd.
Okay.
And then 3 out of 44 of our family enrollees, so about 7% have met. So only 11 out of 64 of our subscribers, so 17% have met their deductible for a period of July 1st through April 2nd. So that's just one thing to kind of keep in the back of your mind. So Jen, if you could go then to the summary comparison document. Top one, here you go.
Okay, that one would be what number?
Number 1, summary comparison for health insurance plan data.
Thank you.
So this top section here, all the scenarios that I run, and I gave you all of those details.
Yeah.
Some of them have an option A and an option B, where premium's not changing, I'm just providing more HSA to the employee to help cover some of the additional costs for either the deductible and or the additional copay. So in the bottom down here, I resorted, and I sorted based on cost savings to the district based on the different scenarios. So this is cost over the prior year, so the additional cost over 25, 26 to the district. So you can see scenario 1, if we leave everything the same other than we have to increase that deductible because of HSA, or our HSA eligibility, it's gonna be an additional cost to the district of about $159,000. Now that would be shared between the employee and the, the premium increase. This is the district share, $159,000. But both the employee and the employer would show an increase of 11.69%. So not quite 12, but pretty close. So then by adding an 80-20 copay or a 90-10 copay, it reduces premium. But if we kind of bump up the HSA then to the employee, it helps them cover that extra dollar amount of the copay. And some of the deductibles are going to increase from $1,700, $3,400 to $2,000, $4,000. So then a little extra there to help cover that extra. So it's been a long time since the district has had a copay, but the way the copay would work is every single policy and every family policy has an out-of-pocket max. Single is $1,000 over deductible and $2,000 over deductible for family. So if you have a 1734, your out-of-pocket max is 2754. Okay, so that extra 20% you have to pay, that extra 10% you have to pay comes out of that out-of-pocket max. Okay, and all of your like 4-tier, 3-tier prescriptions are coming out of that out-of-pocket max. That's always been there. That's why out-of-pocket max was there previously. So I took an average, what's the average cost for the district, all of those scenarios, average savings to the district over scenario 1, and then the district percent average cost increase, employee, just their insurance, and not counting HSA in this for the employee. Their average cost over the prior year. And then I did, you'll see on the detailed summary, I'll add in if we increase the HSA against their cost, their extra premium that they have to pay.
So the district percent variance, is that the column that says how much more would it be district? That scenario this year versus last year, is that correct?
Yes.
So like 11.69 and then 5.4, like those are percentages of increase?
Yes.
Okay.
Correct.
So it looks like we have an option of all but 3, I'd say probably 2 that fit within budget. What we project.
All but 2? Is that what you're saying?
She's saying because you budgeted 10% for the increase, so
Oh,
if we wanted to stay
I see
within
what you're
budget,
saying.
we
Yes,
would want to
okay,
stick to
yes.
anything that was.
That's
below
what was
10.
referendum, that's not what was budgeted. You asked before what was referendum, the referendum was 10, I budgeted 12% increase. That's what I was planning. This obviously will change, but, because the referendum planning came out before we had this other. But you're right, these 3 at the bottom here would obviously be over the 10. But when I looked at,
I just feel like I'm not paying.
or do you have the colored one? Are you all the way at the bottom? Go all the way to the bottom
Bottom
of
of
that
that
one.
next chart.
Right, this
Yeah,
one, yeah, the colored one.
the like 6
Oh, I
colors.
got it, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I wish I could kind of pop this out and rotate it a little bit so you could see.
That would be nice.
That would be a nice option.
Wouldn't it? Have a swivel? I could see it getting ripped off the wall, but.
Yeah.
So when I looked at then averages, I kind of tried to group averages with the goal of sharing the cost burden, helping reduce the cost for that other 78% that are not meeting their deductible. Will get a little more, but then those that are already meeting their deductible would help cost share some of that. It's really hard to determine.
Yeah.
We could have someone we don't know that could be planning a knee surgery or whatever in June and meet their deductible. We don't know, because they have until June 30th. So there are a couple of months yet that people could still be meeting their deductible.
Is the HSA though isn't subject to, they get that regardless if they spend any money or not, right?
They would go straight to their account.
Right.
Yeah, that's their money regardless.
So it doesn't really matter what we decide.
Well,
Like, it would be
it
an
matters-
expense to us regardless if we're contributing.
Correct.
Just carry it over to the next.
Correct, it would be an expense, and that's where these numbers come in, like if we're increasing the HSA, no, you guys have me copy.
It's drawn in here.
Now, the additional cost to the district, will increase. Well, we're all coughing,
Yeah, sorry.
You guys are gonna be sick.
like yawning, everybody starts to yawn. Okay. So just, what the board decides to do is totally up to the board, but looking at the numbers, I would say the best cost sharing is scenario 2, option A, or scenario 4, option B. Then that would be about an average here. And the cost here.
Ken, do you want Julie's water, all the rest of them?
No, I
Yeah, you can have my
I'm gonna
water.
drink a couple cases.
You don't have to hit the restroom.
So Scenario 2, option A is actually the best cost sharing between district and employee. The employee will net a little bit additional that will be going into their HSA. You know, they'll get the full amount, so their HSA will increase. Right now it's at $375 and $750, so it would be doubled.
Okay.
And the one right below that would have an increased deductible of $2,000, $4,000, still with the 80/20 co-insurance, but then the HSA would be $1,000, $2,000, just sort of up to that extra, you know, that little bit extra that's over and above for out of pocket.
We felt those were both viable options that kind of checked a lot of the boxes as far as.
Okay. So that would be your recommendation as good for the district and good for our employees.
Correct.
Yes.
Finding that balance, those were the two we wanted to narrow it down if the board had, we knew the board would ask what our recommendations were.
Yeah, I like the idea of getting a good recommendation. So, are there any further questions or are we ready to entertain a motion?
So the only suggestion I would have in the future, not for tonight, but in the future, I think we should think about encouraging, not having the option, but encouraging employees to take the option that costs the least. So I understand that not everyone will choose to change their doctors, but unfortunately, like, that's kind of the norm that we all, unfortunately, it's just the scoop. And maybe with the year of actually having the clinic here and having access to that wouldn't feel, and who knows, they might not be an option next year, because we might have to go to a whole different insurance company. But when I think about the fact that it's a few $100s a month less in cost that's shared between the employee and us, it makes me think, well, should we give a little higher of an HSA to people who choose the less? Or the extra $200 that it costs each month, is that on you? And we don't pay a portion of that. Like, we pay the 85% or we pay 90% of the less expensive plan. But if you choose more, you can choose it, but you need to cover that, right? To make it, and that's very standard across. Again, that is not a recommendation here, and I'm not recommending that you create another solution for us. I'm recommending we pick one. I'm just saying that in the future, it's another thing that I think we should think about, because that it's a level playing field.
Right, and we have looked at that in the past, and the board had been different, obviously, but it was just discouraged. We wanted, because we're right in the middle of both medical centers, basically, it was discouraged to make people have different amounts, but I can certainly see that. I mean, what suggested previously is you took the lower cost and whatever that rate was, you then set it to a flat dollar. This is a dollar amount we're paying, and then you're not discriminating.
Correct.
Right now, the way we do it, we're not discriminating, we're doing a percentage, but then if you change it to a flat dollar amount.
And that's very standard.
Yes.
And I understand not trying to go one way or the other, but I mean, it's just the way it is. I mean, like, there is nothing good about insurance these days.
So with a dollar standard, they can make that decision.
100%. And I just don't, I mean, my thought would be that it encourages and offers the opportunity of the cheapest healthcare we can provide, if that's what you choose.
Right.
If you don't choose that, then
That's fine.
right, no problem. And again, I'm not suggesting we have another line for the
Not this year.
Right, I'm not
Not this
suggesting it. I'm just
Right.
suggesting that when, especially as you go out to bid,
And it could be very scary for us for costs.
correct, as well as the fact that it might change up completely where you can go and what that looks like. And when all of those eggs are in that basket, we might want to think about kind of changing that standard, so.
Well, and I think that being in the co-op, you're always going to have at least two options. I just think that, I mean, the co-op gave us, whatever, 8 options.
So can you tell us again the difference between your two recommendations? Like, what, one is a higher deductible but more of an HSA, And one is a slightly lower deductible and a slightly lower HSA, right? That's the two options?
So, right, both scenario 2, option A, and scenario 4, option B, both are 80/20 coinsurance.
Yeah.
But
one has.
They both have increased HSA, just different amounts of increase. The scenario 4, option B, also includes a little bump because of the additional deduction, or excuse me, the additional deductible. The cost to the district is about another $3,500 on the second option, on scenario 4, option B.
Okay.
So it kind of looks like A might be better, keeping the deductibles as low as you can for an HSA.
Mm-hmm.
And the HSA is still just a little higher than what it used to be.
Yes.
Right, was it 500, 750?
It was $375.50 before.
Oh, so that's actually pretty substantial.
It's double.
It's double.
It's double, yes.
And why double?
3,000.
The deductible didn't double, right?
No, the deductible did, but now you have coinsurance.
So that helps offset that co-insurance cost a little by
Yes,
doubling that.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you made us, now to speak for Pam, we talked about this, that would probably, like, if you wanted us to narrow it down to one of the two, because we had the two, that my vote would be for that one.
Yeah.
And it checked off
Two
basically
options,
4 of the averages, 4 of the 6 averages, the scenario 2 option A did.
Well, and it's a little cheaper to the district. I mean, it seems like a better
Yeah.
option and it's a slightly
Better for the
cheaper.
employee.
Yeah.
So is there consensus around scenario, or my glasses on,
For
scenario
2A.
2A.
2A. Okay, we have scenario 2, option, okay, scenario 2, option A.
Yes.
Okay, there is consensus around this one, correct? Then I would entertain a motion to, accept this.
I motion that we accept scenario 2, option A, for the 1,700, 3,400 deductible, and the HSA go to 750 and 1,500.
With an 80/20 cost share.
With the
80/20 coinsurance.
Insurance. Is there a second? I'll second that motion. It's been moved and seconded to approve scenario 2, option A, for an insurance plan for next year. Any other questions or comments? If not, I would entertain a motion. Yeah, we did a motion, I'm sorry, we didn't do a vote. I'm just really fading fast, you guys. We have a motion, entertain a vote. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carried.
So we put the HSA with that, is that okay, or do we need it separate?
It could all be together. We said it.
It was part of the motion, right?
It would be okay to be together
Okay.
there, yes.
Sounds good.
Yep, it was part of the motion, so, okay. Sounds good. Short-term, long-term disability, we are still on the insurance.
I can speak, there were no rate increases at all. And, the long-term disability is what we provide to all of our employees. In short-term disability, we have about a 20%, 25% usage.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the long-term and short-term disability insurance through Madison National Insurance with no rate increases and locked in for school years 26, 27, and 27, 28.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the long-term short-term disability insurance. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. H, set the annual meeting date, time, and location. We have a suggestion for Monday, June 8th at 5 p.m. That means we would follow up with our regular board meeting. How does that look?
Not good for me. I've got 3 weeks of training here. So that doesn't work for me, but.
So
Are you able to make the 6 o'clock meeting that day?
No, I'm gonna be in lacrosse from the 8th through the 12th, and the 22nd through the 26th.
You won't make the regular meeting either.
Correct.
Yeah, so I'm gonna end up missing that school board meeting.
Is it? I understand why we're doing it at 5 because it's an hour before our meeting that now starts at 6, but is it possible at all to even just like 5:30? It's very hard for me to be there at 5.
Or do we want to consider having the annual meeting on a different day of the week at 6 o'clock? That would be the other alternative.
Either be fine with me. Can we just start this one at 6?
Can we just start it at 6 and then start the next one at 7 and make that meeting a 7 o'clock meeting?
I don't know why we couldn't.
Sure.
And just try to make it,
As long as we have it posted as such, I think that would be fine.
It would be easier to meet one day.
yeah, I know.
I don't disagree.
Agreed.
Okay, I would entertain a motion.
I motion to set the annual meeting date for Monday, June 8th, 2026, starting at 6 p.m. in the CTE conference room.
I'll second that. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. And to approve the summer school courses and teachers. Any
I document here. For the most part, all of them will be up and running after cancel babysitting. We only had 2 students register. So we only, we had to cancel that one, and Lindsay and I are working on possibly adjusting a little bit like of our dance classes. We don't have many of our older students registering, so we're going to
Super.
have to combine.
As long as it's not trending, it'll work.
Oh,
It's
it's
just
a
a thunderstorm.
Well, it's a thunderstorm warning.
Or is it?
It does that for a thunderstorm. Not a tornado.
What's the difference now?
The same thing.
It's louder.
Here we are, it's coming.
I'm so happy to see the fish.
Well,
it's not like we all want to run to our car right now anyways, right?
Yeah.
Why did we move Jen away from the window?
The good news is.
Yeah.
Well, she gotta be able to listen to what's going on out there.
I'll let y'all know.
Okay, so
So we have about 17 teachers. We will have hopefully 2 pairs for sure, possibly a 3rd para. We have 1 AmeriCorps member who is going to continue some of their hours during the summer as well. And we're offering, I believe, about 29 classes, give or take, if we have to combine a few of them. But we are down a few staff because we had people have babies this past year. And so they are not teaching their classes. We did gain a couple extra teachers, so it kind of balanced out. I think we're down like technically like 1 staff member from last year.
Okay.
how many students are we like consistent with?
Many of our classes have 20-ish students. There are some that are more like 11. We have some that are 7.
They really want us to know that we're gonna get blown away.
We're in a brick building. I mean, I think we're up.
Have you seen the little pigs? Biggest. Good.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026 summer school courses and teachers as presented.
I'll second the motion to approve.
It's been moved and seconded to approve summer school. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, motion carries. Okay, next we need to talk about the third-party IT services.
So I shared this document and also another document with the board. I've kind of given you some summaries of this. Pam, Danny, Taylor, Leslie, and I all reviewed the proposals, and our recommendation is to utilize the Skyward services. I believe I shared with the board that the email testimonials and phone calls with the districts that are similar or larger than us to size who have utilized those services, and their feedback was probably the deal sealer for me. Also cost effective wise, if you break it down to the hourly rate like Pam did. I also like that Skyward has the familiarity from the IT side. They've supported the different years. They have familiarity with our systems. We know several of the people that will be supporting us, and then the flexibility of purchasing extra hours if needed, if something comes up that we don't anticipate that are good for 2 years, that like block hours are good for 2 years. So multiple reasons that's our recommendation moving forward to utilize. And I want to be clear with the board, this is not like a contract, this is a year-to-year thing. We can evaluate how things go next year. And if we're finding out it's not working for us, we either modify this or we can look at other options at that point. But I feel very confident in this situation, because there's some risk with this, right? And that's why I've done my homework with talking to other districts, because the best thing is obviously the entities that are proposing are going to sell, right?
Yeah.
But talking to the folks that are in this chairs in the school districts who have experienced this, we feel very confident with our infrastructure and where we're at that we can utilize that.
It's hitting at 8:30.
What is hitting?
Quarter size hail and 60-mile-per-hour winds. Pittsville's listed. Like it's action headed
Guess we
residents.
better move along on this agenda.
Let's see so anyway, that's my proposal.
I would move to approve Skyward as the third-party provider for instructional technology services for the coming school year.
I will so move.
Second.
Okay. All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Summer school very class with mid-stage.
Yep, so one of our students' courses were not ready from last month when we brought these numbers to you. And the courses were released, so she picked intro to business and entrepreneur.
We know what you're saying.
Foundations.
Yeah, so I just have one question. Isn't there a timeline that had to be done by?
Not this one,
Not
this is
this
the
one,
one the
this is-
district does.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just making
District
sure.
fully
Yeah,
flexibility policy.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
you're
perfect.
fully flexible, so.
Okay, thanks.
Just coming with the courses that she picked.
And so that can happen anytime?
Well,
There's no
before the-
timeline?
Before the courses. I mean, yes, it has to be done with this time of year.
Okay,
Before
sounds
the
good.
course.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
I'll make a motion to approve the summer post-secondary course for the student.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the summer post-secondary course for the identified student. Everyone in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Would the board be okay if I don't believe there's anything that would require those four? Knowing this is coming in at you, okay, if I release those four so they can get a head start getting home.
I'll just sit here by the window.
Jen, I'm sorry, I do it if I could.
You're not
I
in
don't.
Gary. Right.
He is my neighbor,
Oh my
pretty
gosh.
much.
Yeah, well, if you're gonna get out of here now.
Go
It's
now.
getting in 10 minutes and it's heading right to Powers Bluff, is
Yes.
what it's at. So,
Okay.
and
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, good idea, Jason. Thank you.
Bye.
You wanted me to hold my truck in the maintenance garage?
I was gonna say, if we equip our vehicles,
Thinking I was hoping I'd get.
at least like up against something.
If you want to, go.
I'm under the
Yeah, sure.
church overhang, there's room for one more vehicle right next to. If you wanna go to the middle
This
of
is an
there.
unusual circumstance.
Let's do that.
It's a weird.
We'll do it.
I know there's room right next to me, but it's pulled up right next
Good
to me.
idea.
So I'll look out the door and you scream at me if you can't fit, but you should be able to.
Have a good day. Thanks.
I'm not gonna walk all the other way.
Thank you.
Oh, really?
Should I like hover over? Yeah, that'd be great. Thanks.
Okay, I'm leaving my car out there, whatever happens, happens.
That is correct. That's why I have insurance.
That's why I have insurance. You do that. Okay. So. Notice I'm trying to move things along.
We're close to that point though, that I think closed session is gonna take a ton. It would be like,
Am I super close?
no.
Oh.
No.
But what I was gonna get at is that we're in the predicament of, the storm's gonna hit now, is that you either beat the storm or you wait the storm
Wait it
out,
out.
right?
Yep. You don't drive during the storm. I wonder what everyone looks like.
Jen, is it still recording? I
Yes.
assume, yeah, okay.
What'd they say? Is there a tornado?
No,
She said hail and high winds is what's coming.
60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-inch hail.
In 10 minutes?
8:30, I thought she
I
said.
think I'll test my.
15.
And
Do you
how
have
long will
an
it,
update?
how long will it last?
Question
Yeah, that's a quarter-sized hail.
Where's that
Wow, I'm trying to fit Fox line. Minnesota, that was in Minnesota.
at? Coming towards us.
Jen, thank you so much for getting me more water.
Yes. Do you need a cough drop?
Oh, I have 3 already. I've
Okay.
taken 3 and I have 3 more in my pocket, so.
Okay.
But thanks, thanks for talking, for checking.
Mm-hmm.
Tornado again, that's taken from gas stations.
Ooh.
That's my wife's area.
Gilman, tornado.
Do I really have to stay?
That area.
No, I mean, I'm okay with you going if, I mean, what would we have to do? I don't
Sure,
know.
'cause it's 15 minutes. It's
You
going
want
to
to teach me
get
how to
bad.
shut the camera off?
I don't know if that was a good idea. Just show us how to shut it off.
Because we got all the other motions, go. Just, all you gotta do is shut it down, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
Like, turn it off.
Yeah, all you have to do is,
Show Nate, he's tech savvy.
right up here, end stream.
Well, we are not gonna talk about.
All right, Jen.
End stream, and then,
Oh, and here's my husband saying,
Guess home.
yeah,
Yeah,
pretty much saying that. It's like,
it's pretty bad.
you know,
Well,
Well, at this point, I'm not actually driving home right now. I'm waiting because I want to drive right
oh,
in.
that's what we were just saying, is we're at that point now that.
I got it.
Yeah, it's just, is there any place for anyone to pull in? Is really the only question, because,
If we had never put in something that would break the sentence.
there you go. Yeah.
so I'll make it home now?
Go.
yeah,
Well,
We'll
if I
be-
leave right now?
yes, you
Yeah,
can.
you should, like, now, yes.
Okay.
15 minutes away.
You got 15 minutes, you'll make it.
You're going towards Marshville?
Here,
Carrie.
Lindsay.
It's coming from, it's actually Leslie's driving right now.
What's
Okay,
going on?
Really? It's coming that way?
that's what it said.
That's
Oh,
weird.
they never
So
come
15
from that
minutes is
way.
gonna
Do you want me to
get
take
started.
my
You're
cart?
supposed to be in the.
Jason,
And then how long is it gonna
Jason?
last?
I don't know.
Going from
Should I take
the
my cart?
office.
I'll take it
It
to the office.
says, a
Just leave
severe
it
thunderstorm was located 15 miles west of Pittsville.
West of
Where's that?
That's Carrie.
Carrie.
Oh, That's you. I don't
Go,
know. You need to
go.
We're 30 miles west of Wisconsin Rapids, moving east at 30 miles per hour, 60 mile per hour wind gust, quarter size scale.
Let's just go with the policy.
Yes.
Do you want me to unbar the doors?
No, you take care of it, just go.
We can take care of everything.
Other locations, Lindsay, Scranton,
Okay.
Beaver, Northwood County.
All right, let's,
And do we need to go into closed session?
well, I would tell you effectively no.
Let's just do it.
Okay, let's keep
Yeah.
going. So we're at the
Does
Bethel.
anybody have policy questions?
I don't.
It's just for delete.
No,
I
let's
don't
do it.
either. I'll make a motion to approve the deletion of policy 342.4.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No. I'm sorry, opposed, right, okay, now you know what I mean.
So two
Okay.
students were removed from Bethel Junior Academy, is that what happened?
We had a request originally and the board approved it. And then we
Yeah.
got a letter from Bethel Academy saying that those students were not admitted.
Okay, so only one of the three are going, not the other two.
That is correct.
Okay,
That's what the update is.
Dodged a bit of a bullet there on that one. Okay, so, motion to approve the revised request for private school transportation, parent reimbursement. I so move.
I'll second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. No, motion carried. Okay, legislative updates, what they can is the fact that they're gonna fund special education at that 40% stuff. That's the only thing they can agree on. Okay, public comments, doesn't look like it. Future agenda items, we can all read. Closed session, do we need to go in, are there items in closed session?
can we take 2 minutes?
Yes,
Yeah.
so we need to go into it and we will take less than that.
I'll make a motion to move in closed session.
I'll second.
Okay.
Nate needs to shut the camera off and then we can.
Nate,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
yes,
Rick?
Yes.
Julie? Yes.
okay.
We're in
Start
closed session.
signing and backing up as we do
Okay.
this. As soon as Nate's got it off.
Administrative contract, blah, blah, blah.
That'll be really quick because